everybody? It's Lucky Fin Gaming here, and welcome back to Ark Survival Evolved, where today we're going to be taking a second look at the Astrodelphis, or the space dolphin. So without further ado, let's get into this. So, the space dolphin. Hold on, guys. There we go. So, the space dolphin. You may have remembered on my initial review of all of the animals, I loved the space dolphin. I thought it was just absolutely fantastic. And, as with many animals, I honestly wanted to wait a little while to see if they were going to nerf this thing, because this thing is frankly a little on the OP side. There are a few things holding it back, but this thing, I gave it a 9 out of 10, but that may have been a little low. This may actually deserve a 10 out of 10. And unlike the Maywing, this has not actually received any, or at least very few. Hey, where are you going? Very few, if any, nerfs at all. Well, except for this issue, this is the first issue. I don't know what it is about the Astrodelphis, but for some reason they have like a really bad habit of, like, anytime you get off, they try to go and fly off and do their own thing. I really don't know what's with that. But anyway, as I was saying, the Astrodelphis, as far as I've seen, hasn't received any nerfs at all. Real quick, I'm actually going to spawn in some grenades so that way I can show you some of the stuff it can do. So if you don't have one yet, I know Genesis 2 has been out for like 4 months now, or maybe not quite 4 months, maybe I'm over exaggerating, but it's been out for a while, so a lot of you probably already know the things it can do. But like I said, I was honestly just kind of waiting till they kind of, got done with their nerfs, which honestly, most of the animals for Genesis 2 didn't receive as many nerfs as I thought they would. Most of the time, Ark will release these animals, and then they'll just be stupid broken, and then you give it a couple of months, and Ark will have nerfed them in various and sundry ways, even sometimes changing their abilities, as was the case with the Reaper. But what we have here is a dolphin that can fly, and go into starfighter mode with its little jetpack here, which does use element. The only thing that I can say that I can note about one of the few nerfs is they did make the dolphin a little slower with its jetpack. So it's jetpack mode here. As you can remember, previously I was zipping around. It is a little slower now. It does not go quite as fast as it did a few months ago when it was first released. Not really sure why they did this. I guess just to give other animals a chance, even though it is still way faster than any of the other flyers, including the Quetzalcoatl, or the Tropeognathus, which I did compare it to in my original review. Let me think. So one thing I can note is that its little barrel roll there actually does damage. In fact, let's go see if we can find an animal to do damage to right now. Oh, it can also do this if you want to. All right, let's see here. We got, as you can see there, it did damage. I really don't know how much damage it does, or as far as I've seen, it doesn't really seem to do. Oh boy, this is like really lagging the server. Holy cow. Let me go ahead and stop that for a minute. As you can see, it didn't really do just like a heckin' load of damage. Like, it's not like game-breaking damage. I think it did, I think that's one of its other nerfs, is that it did do more damage beforehand, but now it doesn't do quite as much. But one other thing to note about this, and it took me actually way longer than I'm kind of embarrassed to admit how long it took me to figure this out. If you go into first person here, which you don't have to be in first person, you can actually lock on to target, or, well, I accidentally just released a giant atomic bomb right there. This is not going well, guys. It's been a while since I flew one of these. I've been doing a lot of official lately, and we don't have one on official. It's been a minute since I flew these. The last time I flew one of these was on Bloodsport, and Bloodsport, unfortunately, no longer exists. They all went to rust. Bleh. I know, right? But anyway, if you hold down your targeting key, as you can see here, which I am doing, it will actually target and then launch actually a larger, more damaging bullet than these little puny fast lasers that I featured in the first time that I reviewed this animal. So if you just tap it real fast, for PlayStation it's R2, I don't know what it would be for PC or Xbox, but I'm tapping R2 right now. But if I hold down R2 for my fellow PlayStation players, and whatever the PC or Xbox equivalent is for that, and then you fire, it will fire a larger bullet that moves a little slower, but that does way more damage, and that can actually lock on. See this little PT here? You go ahead and shoot him. And as you can see, that did quite a bit of damage, actually. I bet we can actually kill it if we fly back around. Yeah, there it goes. Right down to the ground, 250 damage with the saddle. This actually does pretty good damage for official. Like, on official, I've seen people complaining about people using the Astrodelphis, saying that it's kind of broken or calling them trash for using it or whatever. So I assume that this thing actually has some pretty good relevancy in official PvP. Unfortunately for my fellow, I don't really play on private servers anymore, but boosted private servers, I found that this thing was, I don't want to say worthless, because it was really good at getting away from opponents. It is the fastest thing in the game right now, even faster than the what do you call it? The hovercraft, the tech hovercraft. It actually outspeeds that even. But overall, it's on private servers, it just doesn't do enough damage. Unfortunately, that's one of the big things about saddle animals. They don't do enough damage, like the Tropionathus, its cousin, which I call it its cousin just because they share similar saddle traits. The Tropionathus also, the grenades on it just don't do anything. But speak of grenades, if you put grenades in this thing, which you saw me do earlier, and you actually saw me shoot it earlier on accident, it will fire this really big bullet right there. As you can see, that thing does a heckin' big explosion. And surprisingly, though, this bullet doesn't do that much damage against buildings. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I don't know why they added it, because it doesn't do a whole lot of damage to buildings. I mean, it does more than that. That actually doesn't do that much damage. So I guess it's built to do damage to buildings, because as y'all may have seen earlier, it doesn't really do that much damage to animals. As you can see, I'll shoot it there. Well, I mean, I guess it did a little bit. 458. That's pretty good. That's more than the lock-on one, but still, it doesn't do that much damage to buildings, like I said. Another thing about the Astrodelphis, though, is if you look at the bottom right of my screen, though, interestingly, when you get kills in this thing, it will actually increase your speed and resistance. So the more kills you get, the faster this thing actually gets, which is a little interesting. Well, damage, defense, and speed. So it actually gets more damage, more defense, and more speed the more kills you get. And I think it stacks up to like 4. Let's go ahead and try it real quick. Surprisingly, another thing I've noticed is this thing's fuel efficiency is actually like really good. There we go. Okay, so what you do is, as you can see, I just killed that little PT there, and it'll drop this little thing, and if you pick it up, there you go. Now you can see it's back down there at the bottom. So really, this thing is like a absolutely fantastic addition, and I would say definitely any larger tribe or even any smaller tribe would definitely get it. However, it does have its drawbacks. One of the drawbacks that it does have is that it does require element to tame, so you will need element. Another problem with it is that you actually do need to be level 120, which is the new max level. There's been some confusion as to how you get to level 120. However, as far as I've seen, it's literally just basically the same as everything else. You just kind of reach level 120. So, but yes, the Astrodelphis saddle, whereas you don't, it is convenient because you don't actually have to fight a boss in order to learn the saddle, unlike its far larger brother, the Astrocetus, the space whale. You still do have to reach level 120. And another thing, as you can see right here, it can only be crafted at a tech replicator, meaning that at the end of the day, you're still going to have to fight a boss. It doesn't really matter which one. I think they all literally give you the tech replicator. But you will have to learn the tech replicator, so you will still have to do a boss in order to learn the Astrodelphis saddle, or in order to build an Astrodelphis saddle. However, you can pick up the Astrodelphis saddles in Genesis 2 drops, so very convenient there. On that note, well, let me think. So I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, the only complaint that I would have, or well, really, no, it's not even really a complaint. It's more of just a concern to watch out for. If you decide you want to tame these, you will need element, and you will need to come specifically to Genesis 2. Obviously, this thing does not spawn on any other maps. And since I believe Genesis 2 is the last official map that they will be adding other outside of fan maps, which there's another one coming out which will have an Amegasaurus, which does look cool, and I will be covering when that comes out. But for now, the Astrodelphis only spawns on this map, and I think that's probably the way it's going to stay. So if you don't know how to tame it, definitely go check out New Blitz videos. I know he's way bigger than me, and so you've probably already heard of him if you're into Ark and you accidentally came across my channel. But still, go check out his way of taming it. That's the only way I know to tame him. And he's gonna swim off again. Awesome. Anyway, though, guys, that's all I have for you on this video. Has my opinion changed on the Astrodelphis? Yes, I would give it a 10 out of 10 rather than the 9 out of 10 that I originally gave it. Again, summary, super surprised this thing was not nerfed, and you're really, you're gonna, okay, whatever. Anyway, as I was saying, super surprised this thing wasn't actually nerfed. But again, very surprised at its fuel efficiency. All that we did, we only really used 2 element. So really honestly very surprised about the fuel efficiency. So yeah. But that's all I have for you today, guys. So if you enjoyed, please consider liking and subscribing. I know this video is probably a little bit more haphazard than usual. I'm actually I'm rushing. I gotta rush this video out today. I got things I gotta go do. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all at another time and dimension, whenever or wherever that may be. Till then, peace out.